yourself to integrate. Tell me what you see or experience.
Like a planet with lots of clouds. It's like this stormy sort of situation. It looks almost like, like the desert in Arizona with those sort of red flat pillars. It's
Yes.
like a deserty sort of place. And then there's like this, storm. It's like a dark sort of blue storm, dark grey, blue, and clouds. I think behind me there's some kind of like community, like some buildings and whatnot. That look like, sort of blocks. And it's like I kind of looks like we're humanoid type of beings, like those pointed ears. But many of us have like this tan sort of skin and like dreadlocks and kind of like rustic clothing, but like with, pouches on us and like technology, but still like connected to nature. I don't know how else to describe it.
Does your body feel male or female or neither?
I think I feel female.
Does the body
Yeah, it's
feel
like,
healthy?
yeah, it's healthy.
Tell me more.
It's like I'm kind of seeing, it's like we're looking out over this sort of plateau at this storm. It's like we can see something in there. Some like type of weird thing is going on.
Who are you with as you look at this weird thing?
There's some of the men around me. They're kind of like taller than what I am. Like they think that there's like discussions that there's like a ship or ships in these storm clouds, that they're using the storm clouds as sort of like a cover. Because usually, like, I don't know, that there's fog here. There's like, it's like low clouds. It's like, regularly, like there's low clouds, but then sometimes, like, often it lifts. But then, like, the clouds are a little bit higher up. Like, it's just different. Like, there's just an awareness that there's, like, weather manipulation. They are aware that there's weather manipulation. And, we don't manipulate our own weather. So it's like, well, who is manipulating our weather?
Where are you? Do you get a sense of where you are? What kind of place you're in?
Like I'm looking out at over the plateau, but I think like we're back in the buildings again. And there's like some talking going on It's like, beings talking. I think they're talking about the weather manipulation that's happening, and that like it's a cover for something. It's a cover for something going on. Like it's a cover for like an invasion, because like it like appears that we have had like some tensions with like other species.
What kind of beings are you?
We've had tensions with like darker extraterrestrials because we don't want them here. We want to be sovereign. We have told them to go away. It's like, it's like I feel like they come at an earlier time, but we chase them off. Like we're connected with nature, but like they still have like, ships and weapons and technology, but it's like we are very, very like this is our planet and you can get off. And like they don't tend to have much success here because people are so they don't take that sort of stuff. So there's lots of talks like, we know there's weather manipulation. We know that they're invading again. And we're just, talking about like what will we do now to kick them off this time? Like how will we go about this to kick them off this time? Because it's like I don't think like it's like that there's not any reptilians that come. Like I feel like maybe that there was like an issue with like grey aliens or something.
And
Or
what
like
planet
other
are
negative
you?
species.
Yes. What planet are you on as you speak?
This very much feels like energetically I'm getting like Cassiopeia. Like a Cassiopeia constellation. I was gonna say Taurus, but then it was like no. Something to do with Cassiopeia.
Where are these invasions coming from?
Coming from the south. Coming from like we can feel that there's something in the clouds. That there's, something that's shielding itself in the clouds. And it's like we're not quite sure what sort of beings are going to come off of that ship, whether it's going to be like grey teas or it's going to be like something else that time, like big weighing it up, like, who's it going to be this time who's going to try and mess with us, basically.
Tell me about what you're feeling. What is the feeling and emotion, if any, that is coming up as you're watching this, trying to wonder what is about to happen? What is the feeling or
There's
emotion?
lots of, it's like there's lots of talking in like a big room, and then like the men are very angry, like, we want to fight. Like if they're coming again, we were going to fight them. Like we did it the last time, we'll just fight them again. Like they're very yeah, they're not taking anything. I don't really know. Like it's just like, it just feels like a very big sort of drama. So like I don't really know what to think about it. I'm just like, yeah, it is what it is. The last time that, such beings came, like it's like they got chased off pretty quickly because like the men don't take that sort of stuff. Like I feel like there was grey aliens like killed and made an example of because, we don't do that here.
Tell me about your role as you are watching this. Have you got a specific role or a job that you are involved with?
Mm. I think I'm training to do something. Training in a role. It's like I learn, I'm educating, like I'm a student. I'm learning about like different races in the cosmos. But yeah, like I'm learning about that like I'm going to be like a navigator or something. I just got the word navigator. I'm going to navigate, so I have to learn about all the different places. Like my specialty is maps. So I'm learning everything to do with maps. And then there are these smaller crafts that the men, they like, I can't wait anymore. And then they go into these smaller crafts and then they take off towards the clouds, the dark clouds, the stormy clouds, because they're getting really antsy and they just want to fight.
Tell me what happens next. What happens after that?
It's like we're listening around like communications devices because they got really antsy and then they went and then they're like, you know, fall back, there's too many. And then they're making their way back. I think somebody's got shot down and that's really no good. Everyone's just like sitting there kind of alarmed. And then like the elder, like I feel like there's an older man who's in this room and he's just like the one asking the questions, the one that's like facilitating the discussions. And he is just like asking like, can you identify who it is? And it's just like, well, the ships are like the big black ones, from like Orion and whatnot. I'm like, okay, I see. Figured that out. Figured out that much that there's beings coming for us. So I haven't figured out too much, but like there's a little bit of information that's gained from this.
I want you to condense time and space now and just allow yourself to move to the next significant event that is important for you to see and connect with. Allow yourself to simply be there. Let me know what you see or experience.
And it's like they're here now. And it's like they're the Orion beings with the grey skin. They're wearing these big sort of black suits. Got some helmets on them and laser guns. They're just pointing at some of the men. There's like a whole bunch of them. Like got jetpacks flying down. And then they're just like herding people into the big sort of meeting center. And then Like I feel like I'm in like a crowd somewhere and like being pushed with everyone else. And they're, kind of upset. Everyone's upset. I feel like there's like a man that like pipes up and tries to fight and then he gets shot by one of these beings. I feel like, the old man, the leader, comes up and then he's just like, "You have no business here. What are you doing?" And he gets shot too. And everyone's like, and just like really, really shocked. And I just sit down and try and stay hidden. Like I feel like I'm trying to not draw any attention to myself in this crowd as I observe. And we've heard about these beings before. I haven't personally come here yet. Not
So,
until this point.
what happens next? Where do they take everybody?
Mm. There's, lots of men are asking, like, what do they want? And it's just like, you didn't get to know. You didn't get to know that information. And they just herd us away. And it's just like, well, like, like we were inquiring about what they wanted with us. And like, they just basically told us, that's confidential. You don't get to know that information. I think they, herded some of the men onto a particular ship. Other men are, I think they're plotting. Like I'm taken somewhere else with like a group of other women. And then there's like a man that comes in. And like we're in like this smaller room with like a bunch of like other women. And then there's like a man that comes in and I feel like there's like young men and women, but they don't think that we're so much of a threat. They don't view us like they view more of the men as a threat. The men are like physically bigger than us as well, and they're, really feisty, so they've taken them elsewhere. But they've taken us to this smaller room, and then there's this man that's come in, and he takes off his helmet and he has this, gray sort of skin. He's like a commander, and he's, just telling us like, so we've taken control of this place and like we're going to be your new leaders now. And this is what you need to know of. Like, thanks for becoming part of the Empire. This is what you need to know. And then there's like this like, let's say that it's like a slideshow or like a movie that's basically like propaganda that plays with like some music and just showing us like, you have been chosen to be part of the Empire. And then there's just all of this blatant propaganda. And then like I think, some of the kids like giggle and that man threatens them as this propaganda holographic screen is playing. and everyone has to watch this propaganda. It's like, you have been taken over. Welcome to being part of the Empire. And all of this other stuff is playing.
And what happens?
Mm. It's like we come out of that room now. And it's like they're putting like AI devices in us, like little chips. It's like everyone's gonna get a chip. And like we file into another room. Like they haven't really mechanized. File into a different room and then they just like place in some chips in us. And like it's like a tracker. And then they put a tracker in us. And yeah, so I guess we're being like just tracked like cattle now, and it's just like they know like what we're doing and they know where we are. They all know all of this information about us. And the trackers make people feel funny.
How do they make people feel funny?
They just make us like really confused or feel like, like fuzzy in the head as well. Like we know that it's an obvious intrusion of our bodies and we don't like it. There was a man who looked like he removed his tracker and then they shot him for it, so we figured out like maybe we shouldn't remove these trackers. I feel like I have anxiety, but I'm just keeping it in.
Do you know anybody that's with you? Any of the other girls or women?
Mm. And it looks like my mom. My mom is there, like I'm staying close by to her because it's like, I don't know, like I'm in my early 20s or 30s or something, and like I want to stay close by to her. Like I think it's my mom from this life, and I stay close by to her and like hold her hand. I don't know where my dad is. I just stay close by to my mom, and then she's just like, don't do anything. Just say, like, just do what they say. And then I'm like, okay, I'll just do what they say. We're just trying to survive.
How long? How long do you stay there?
Hmm. It's like a little while until we like get assigned some new tasks of what we're gonna do. Like they're kind of like a little bit based on our old tasks, what we were doing. Like, obviously like what we're doing can be used. Like I'm still studying navigation though, like I'm still like a student, so I don't know what they're gonna do with the students. Um, they're kind of like telling us that like it doesn't matter if you're a student, you're just going to have to start working immediately. And this is upsetting to me because like I don't feel like I've learned quite enough. And like, like the jobs aren't necessarily very good. Like only people who are specialists are used in that sort of a way. Don't really There's a lot of people that are, there's like these factories that they bring down from the sky in their ships now, and then there's like mining that goes on with the men. Like they bring these big sort of structures down, and then we have to start, mining things and building technologies. And the men are not happy being told what to do. It's already been like there's just shootings of the men every day because one pipes up and then gets shot. The women have to be careful because the men of this species are not very nice. So we sort of stick together and warn each other if there is, like a predator trying to pick us off or take advantage of people. And I feel like sometimes there's reptilians that come, but it's infrequent, and then they visit just to check how things are going. They don't do very much. They leave it all to these Orion beings.
So allowing yourself again to see if there's any other significant scene or aspect here that needs to be seen and connected with.
It's like a It's like they're showing us like a big sort of swimming pool sized block filled with bodies of the men that and the people that misbehaved and did not obey them, and they're filling it up like concrete. They're showing it to us as like to sow fear into us, and they're just like filling up this mass grave with just this stone substance. And then they're just like, you remember what happens if you disobey us. And it's not very nice. Let me go back inside. And I feel that there's something else that happens after this. There's like after some time a little bit more time has passed, there has been like rumblings on the other side of the planet that we're going to join forces with others, and others from outside of our planet have heard our calls for distress. I stay with my mum a lot of the time just because I stick by her, and we work in like a factory and make machines. And that is what we do. And there's like rumors about whether we're going to get saved or not. And the other side of the planet too, like the whole planet was invaded, but there's different parts of the planet that are more like rebelling than others. So there's like more traction, and then there's a revolutions happening in other parts of the planet right now, and we're like hearing rumors about it in like the machine factory. we're like I wonder what's going on. I wonder like when this place is going to be liberated. Like it would be nice if it was.
Does it get liberated at some point?
I feel like other things happen. Yeah, like there is, there are, like it looks like Pleiadians or something that actually, decide to assist us and begin the liberation program. There's like some assistance from outside that I'm seeing. But as this revolution is taking place, I go back to my house. It's like a compound, and like, all the women like are in these sort of compound buildings now, and I go like as this revolution is taking place, like get the men are it's like they sense that, there's lots of stuff that's going to happen, and then they keep watch of things, keep watch of these beings with the grey skin. And I kind of see as I like go to my compound, and then, like I'm in there, and like I'm kind of like alone or whatever. I just go there kind of like early to just, I don't think I'm meant to, but I go there early just to have some time out. Looks like one of the beings with the grey skin has followed me into like my compound. Just like, caught me and followed me. And like, starts to, forcibly force himself on me. And like, I don't really know what to do. I just sort of sit there. And it's like I see that one of the men from our people has watched this man come into the compound and, attack me. And it's like these men, like our people, are filing into the compound now. They spot this man because there's lots of vigilantes about now that there's all of this revolution going on. It's like they are hunting a lot of these Orion men that are doing, bad things, especially to the women, because there's lots of this revolution energy going on. So I see that they follow him in there and then they like kill him. They kind of like, shoot him and then he falls over. And then the men, they pick me up. There's like maybe like 3 of them, and they knew that he was sneaking into the women's compound because they were watching him. It looked like he snuck into a few compounds. And they got him this time. And then the men, like, ask me if I'm okay. And I say like, yeah, like I'm okay, like I'm shaken up. But generally like I don't know what to do because, obviously like I'm not okay on the inside, but we're in the midst of this revolution type of thing. And it's like I can't express my feelings at that point. So I just get dressed again, and then, they take me out of the compound, and they're like, the women need to hide. I'm like, okay. And like, they tell me to like tell my mother and then get it to safety. And there's gonna, like, they have like this underground sort of area that they've developed. And then they're like, there's help that's coming. The ones from the sky coming to help us. And they're like, that's all that we can say. Can't say any more due to your tracker. They've cut theirs out of their arms. Like all of the vigilantes have cut their trackers out. They're just telling me to hide with my mom. I think I find her again and she's like, oh, where did you go? And I just like said, oh, I went back to the compound and something happened and we have to leave. And I feel like I'm really, really nervous. And then that like I sort of like don't really know what to do either. And then I don't know if like I even get the directions right to where we need to go. I'm so nervous. And then there's like another, like I feel like there's another woman that knows what I'm talking about, but I can't say it directly. And then she comes back and then she's like, it's okay, like I know what to do. I know where to go. And so we go to this sort of underground place. It's kind of like in the wilderness somewhere. We're like walking for a little while. There's like a group of women walking. And then we come across to that. And everyone's aware that like we don't have much time because we're being tracked. So there's like a man that goes around and he's just like, okay, like we hide in this sort of underground area, and then he's just like, okay, well, it's like a temporary holding sort of place, and he's just like, okay, we're going to cut your trackers out now. And so like we get that cut out, and it's, you know, it's quite painful because it goes quite deep. And then they have medical supplies there and bandage us up. And then they like take the trackers and then they sprinkle them into other areas. They leave them there, and like a group of men take these trackers and then make it so that like they sprinkle them in areas so that it looks like we didn't just leave all in that one place, but we did leave in that one place. So and then it's like the next thing I see is like the Pleiadians, and they're there. And there's like a small ship with a Pleiadian, and it's like a scout ship. He's just like, we're here to help you. We're going to liberate you in a little while. And so some of the women, like I don't think there's enough people to go onto that Pleiadian man's ship. Like, so that there's just like small children or something that go. And I think I feel like I stay there with my mom and then just wait. With the men, there's like a different sort of building that we're in now. just waiting underground.
How long are you there waiting?
Mm. It feels like a few days, and like we don't see anything particularly much, but then there's reports that come down from the surface. It's like this like sort of structure that we're in like has no way of, they can't track or communicate with us. It's almost like a lead box that we're placed in for our own safety. Like the main tracker was removed, but they don't know if there's any other AI systems within the body, so that we're placed within this box, basically, until we can, I guess, get liberated by the Pleiadians. I feel like they're the Tigetians or something, but then they're working with a different sort of Pleiadian as well.
I want you to condense time and space now and just allow yourself to move to the next significant event that you need to see in this experience to help you understand or heal or release something. Allowing yourself now to move to that scene.
It's like it's happening, the liberation is taking place. We're there, and we start to move out of our areas, and then like the Pleiadians are like telling us like move, 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 like out of that area, and then we come onto the ship, and then there's all this fighting. There's like this war that's going on between there's the Pleiadians, then there's like the Orion beings, and then there's like the men of our planet. And as we zoom away in this ship, we can sort of see it. Like there's just like all of these explosions happening, and people are crying as we move out of that in that Pleiadian spaceship. And it's like we're in space now. Like we are like there's like a big sort of group of the women and the children, but a lot of the men are down there, and the women are worried. The men, like they wanted to fight, a lot of them. There's like men that came to join us as well, but it's like there's like a lot of anxiety and a lot of sadness, and it had to be like this, all of this stuff that's going on our home, and we're not there. And then my mom and I are in this Pleiadian ship, and we're getting like medical attention, like with the arm, and I get like some healing for the event that occurred when I went back to the compound, because it was very traumatic. And I kind of realized that, and it's like I have like a breakdown and like sort of cry, and then there's this Pleiadian woman who's really, really kind. She's like, giving me some therapy for what I experienced. I realized I have a lot of anxiety, like I have an anxiety disorder, a nervous system disorder. Got a lot of issues in my sacral chakra now, a lot of issues in my solar plexus, so much anxiety. So I spend like quite a long time, like they're giving a lot of us therapy, which is really, really nice. I can breathe like a sigh of relief now. Just having, I keep going and seeing this woman, and I keep having like therapy. And I go into these healing beds a lot too. I have a lot of, I make a lot of use of that, but like it's just like I still get these panic attacks sometimes while I'm here. It's like, well, like I feel sick and at the, I'm concerned about the state of my planet and whatnot. So I get, looks like, you know, panic attacks where I feel really, really sick. And then they notice my energies and then they take me in for healing again. So like I don't feel like I'm okay mentally. My mom is trying to take care of me, but she has a lot of her issues as well. There are a lot of beings having therapies and healings. Sometimes like there can be so much that like it's that like I have to wait a little bit until I get my turn at the healing bed because yeah, there's people that when they hear news about the war that's happening on the surface of our planet, kind of down there, they go into a panic attack. We've just been through so much, like so much has happened and it's just been like a blur and none of us got to experience it. Like we had to shut off our feelings because, you know, they were just shooting anyone who spoke. And then there was like that where they put everyone in that mass grave who spoke up and then they showed us. And then there's like there's other Pleiadians that are assisting us now, like there's other groups because I think that they realize that we're really, really traumatized and that we actually need a little bit more help. So that there's like another ship that's joined to assist us as well.
Does the healing get completed in that lifetime?
Yeah, it feels like we eventually come back to the surface. We come back to the surface of the planet. And it's different now. The energy is different and the Orion beings were driven off. This was successful, but like a lot of lives were lost. There was just like a full-on war that happened on the surface, and it's like we kind of have to rebuild again. And the Pleiadians, you know, a lot of their lives were lost as well. The men that came to help liberate us from this oppression. And it's like, yeah, we kind of have to rebuild a lot after that, and a lot of people still have anxiety attacks, so made use to create like healing centers and whatnot for people to heal after this event. And I do eventually heal, and then like I feel like I have somebody like a loved one in my life as well eventually, but it takes me so long after the rape incident. Like I didn't feel right for a long time after that. Like I couldn't do anything. I just clam up. I didn't want to be touched. I had a lot of issues for a long time, or many of us did. A lot of the women suffered the same sort of fate, so it was really hard for the men.
And as you feel into all of this experience, you connect to these experiences, I want you just to scan and see if there are any other parts of this lifetime. Before we leave this lifetime, is there any other parts to this lifetime that would be helpful right now for you to connect to?
Just this feeling in like the sacral chakra, like just this seeing like these lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes of wounds regarding that. And it's just like, this is being healed right now in this lifetime that I'm having right now. It's like why I have like the PCOS. With this part of me that's like hurt again and again and again in many different situations.
Yes.
And I'm just releasing that.
I'm going to ask the
And the
higher self.
anxiety as well.
Yes, I'm going to ask the higher self to come in and assist right now in this moment, just to help you release, to help any healing required in this area. I'm going to ask our divine teams also to assist with healing any part of your body or energy field affected by these circumstances and experiences, and to ask for healing across all timelines and lifetimes that are connected. So initiating that level of healing now with the assistance of the higher self.
It's like I'm kind of being shown there's like this big sort of rift in like my abdomen. It's like, coming from like my sacral and my crotch, like all the way like up to like my belly button and stomach, where all of this, like I'm just really feeling it now, like this very physical sensation where all of this anxiety and like attacks on the feminine were felt. This big sort of wound was just like there in my soul for many lifetimes. And I can just see all of the angelic beings. It's like they're sewing up that big wound.
Very good. I'm going to channel through all of the healing energies now towards this wound, allowing the body to integrate. And as we do, we're going to release that consciousness of that lifetime you were visiting. We're going to allow that part of you to release and continue on their journey. They'll find all of what they need on that part of their journey. And as you bring your consciousness back into the body, enabling this healing now to take place, now that you've connected into that experience, you have more of an understanding about what happened when the wounds that were created. I'm going to ask for healing now to be initiated across all of the timelines that are connected, all of those experiences now that you are ready to release, and allow that healing to take place. So gently, gently, with the assistance of your divine team and my divine team, allowing that integration now, sending that signal, that energy to the nervous system, sending green healing light all the way down the nervous system, sending that signal that you are safe. You are safe. Taking all of the learnings and the experiences and the wisdom gained, and releasing all of those energies now, releasing those energies from the body. The angelic realm surrounding you now with golden light, sending this golden light across all timelines that are connected. Filling up that sacral now with golden light, healing codes. And with the assistance of the higher self, I'm going to ask for that direct guidance to allow now all of the cords and attachments to these experiences and timelines to be dissolved now, all of the ones that you are now ready to release and heal, allowing those to dissolve, 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 and feeling the sacral with all of the healing energies now required at the exact capacity for your body to hold. And as you breathe, just allowing those energies to move all the way through the body, filling up all of the spaces in the body that requires this healing. And just sending in a healing light now into the heart, sending what looks almost like a sponge, and it's absorbing now, absorbing from the heart area all of the pain, all of the anxiety and the suffering, all of the heaviness, just absorbing it now, lifting it, lifting it, lifting it all the way out of the heart. And doing the same for the solar plexus, just lifting, absorbing now all of the heaviness and the anxiety and the fear. Just asking the team to do the same in the root chakra also, and the sacral, absorbing from those energy centers all of the trauma, all of that residual energy from this lifetime that we visited and any other timelines that are connected, including the current lifetime. Gently, gently lifting and releasing in accordance with your higher self. And as this is lifted, pouring through, very gentle golden light now, gentle, gentle, that works with your body. It's the very soft healing energy now. It's just allowing all of the energy centers now to be filled back up. And again, sending that green healing balm all the way down the nervous system, down through the digestive system, down through all of your hormonal system, and balancing now, balancing everything, integrating everything, calming, soothing, and restoring. Very good. I'm just going to allow that gently to take place. And as this continues in the background, I'm going to ask for your higher self to come through and just let us know if there's anything else that's required for the body right now.
It is good. The body is in alignment now. It is just releasing that is taking place in the lower half of the body, the bowel, the sacral, these areas that are all connected throughout the abdomen.
Very good. And is there anything that you want to share now with her here to let her know? She probably already understands, but any guidance around the reason that she was able to connect into this experience today? Anything you want to share with her?
Yes, because it is an integral part of this healing process of connecting up with all of these different lifetimes that have experienced this and healing the soul through all of the different dimensions of what has occurred. This has, well, taken place mostly in this particular galaxy. So this part of my soul in this galaxy, much of that energy of the feminine being violated has been perpetrated in this particular galaxy. So when that part of me is healed, I can reintegrate and connect in with the higher parts of myself much more greatly now. Like I can interlink with those parts, whereas before there was more of a separation. So all of the incarnations that she is having within the Milky Way galaxy will now be much more healed and able to connect in to higher and higher frequencies. So at this stage, the soul is more of like a collective of beings. There is like a Hadarian being, there are various different beings that are some known to her, some not. Arcturian, for example, that is a parallel experience as well. Now all of these beings can connect even higher and higher now
Oh,
as a
wonderful.
result of that healing. So it is a deep integration of interconnectedness of the soul tree.
Wonderful. Thank you. And is there anything else that is needed for the body in this session, or are we complete?
We are complete for this time. There's nothing else that needs to be done for the body except for to just keep drinking the water. Keep drinking the water and detoxing, because the energies are coming in very fast now, very hard and fast. And so a quickening is required in order to shed layers of baggage, not only at the human level, but at other higher dimensional levels as well. All of the beings in this galaxy are having an upgrade at this time. It is not just the Earth. Everything is very, very interconnected, and at the moment Earth is kind of like a pivotal centerpiece point of this shift that is occurring. That is why there is so much energy and direction on the Earth at this time, and there is such a push and pull between the light forces and the dark forces, which you are seeing play out now.
Yes. Wonderful. Thank you so much for your assistance today in this session. And thank you for conversing with me and communicating all of the helpful things that you have. So we're going to ask the consciousness now of this one on the bed to fully returning now, still staying connected to the higher self, but with full consciousness now returned into the body.